Okay, guys, I am back with another video. Now, if you are not up to speed on how my schedule is working in this year, I'm going to try to put out at least one video on a weekly basis. Sometimes, if I could, I would put out one or two or three back to back, whatever, as ideas come to me. But the schedule this year has been kind of crammed. And so I'm going to continue to try. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thanks for anyone for going to our support page and donating to helping us continue to make this possible. So thank you all. And now this video is made possible by Ronnie, one of our viewers. Ronnie had a question about kitty litter, and I responded, but I figured a video would be better to describe what's happening and also to ease the worry. Okay, let me explain the scenario, right? So Ronnie was shampooing and went over some kitty litter with the shampooer and started hearing noise and was wondering if the motor was messed up. So let me explain the relationship with shampooing and the motor itself, okay? How those things work, and if is it possible for things to get vacuumed up into the shampooer motor, all right? Well, the answer is yes, it's possible, but it's not likely. What you may find getting into your shampooer motor is dust particles, maybe, and mist. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, you have a shampooer that you shampooed and you had, let's say, carpet fibers, pet hair, in the tank, and it was dry, just kind of there, hanging around, right? And you didn't put any water in it, and you turned it on. Yes, it's possible for whatever was inside that tank, that dry tank, can get sucked into the motor, okay? Because you never cleaned out your tank, and it was just kind of hovering around inside the tank. You got what I'm saying? But let me explain. Let's use this. Let's use this. This is a Bissell shampooer, okay? Tank. All right. Let me get this Hoover down. I'm gonna explain with the Hoover, but let me use the Bissell first. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. Let's put all this back together, and let me explain how this works. See this? All right. So this is a Bissell shampooer. The smartwatch that Ronnie is using is a similar design to this, all right? So let's just imagine that you're shampooing the carpet, okay? Shampooing. You went over some debris, pebbles, kibbles and bits, kitty litter, etc. Things that are bigger than dust, all right? And you start hearing a noise. Bang, 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 right? My gosh, my motor's messed up. Well, before we get to a motor, let's think about this for a second. Let me show you what the deal is. The motor is in this body here, and the suction is coming through this. Let me show you. You see this vent, this vented area? That's where the suction is being generated. You see that hole in the back? That's where the solution is going into the tank, okay? To give you another idea of how it works, you see the front opening? That goes over the vented area. You see the back opening? That's where the solution shoots up into the tank. See that? Goes up into the tank and throws right from there. See that curved area right here? See that curved area? So the water goes there and it comes out into the tank. Now, in order for that water to now get into the motor, I know it's hard to see, but there's a little square or rectangular area right at the very top of this tank. Now, you notice this floater? When the water starts to rise, the floater is going to cover this area right here. That's where the suction is being generated from that opening area. See that? So now, what's the floater? The water rises, cuts off the suction from the floater. The floater cuts off the suction, and then it tells you, hey man, empty your tank, and you empty it from back here. See that? That works? So if you vacuumed up some kibbles and things like that, number one, they're heavy, so they're probably gonna sit at the bottom of the tank if they do find their way inside. Okay, and then by the time the stuff rises, the floater is going to cut off your suction. But if it does make its way through, guess what? This filter is going to stop those heavy things from getting into the tank. Okay? Now, yes, is it possible for finer particles than this hole to make its way into the tank? Yes, it's possible. You know what I mean? But that immediate sound, the moment you vacuum this stuff up, it goes bang, 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 bang. That's probably happening right here. That immediate reaction is happening down at the brush, okay? Let's take this brush off. See that? Most likely, it got caught up next to the belt. You know, think about it. I got cut up somewhere in here, somewhere in the corners or something is where all that noise is probably happening. All right? So now, are there shampooers that make a lot of noise? Yes. The phone's ringing. Always when I'm making a video. Give me a moment. Let me pause and I'll take this call. I'll come right back. You know, if that call was from one of you guys, it would be great to interrupt the video for that. But no one answered. And then you hear that boop. Then you're like, somebody's trying to sell something. All right. Back to the video. All right. So, yeah, the kind of noise that you would get from a motor is probably a grinding noise, like a, you know, it used to sound like just a regular motor, like a regular engine kind of thing. And then after a couple of years, you probably won't even notice it. I'll be honest with you. It'll happen like gradually. And then every time you turn it on, it sounds like it's like grinding. What's happening is that, let me give you what a motor actually looks like. A shampooer motor. A shampooer motor looks more like this, something like this. Anything that you have these little vents here, like this is a shampoo motor. See those vents right there, okay? And the noise will come from two places, okay? Either it's in this area here, or above here there's a bearing right above here. Or if you get smelling, if you start to smell things, it might be because the armature is starting to burn. And sometimes the metal, let's say your carbon brush is flaked and it got all messed up. Then all of a sudden, it's the metal of this cartridge here that holds the carbon brush might touch your armature, and then that'll cause like fire and things like that. So if you smell burning, like for example, I'll give you an example. If you look at this armature, okay, you see there's a little bit of copper, but then you also see, if I turn around here, that something was happening. See all the black right there? This is what a healthy armature look like. This copper. See that? And then something was happening. So this was burning, okay? All right? And now the rust from the mist will have your motor look like this. But that happens over time, okay? All right? Mist find its way in, and then all of a sudden things start to rust, and then you start to hear that grinding sound. That's kind of what you would expect to hear from a shampoo motor. Not the same as what you would get from using a vacuum like an Auric or something like that. My camera's about to fall down. Let's pull this back up this way. Okay, like an Auric or Kirby or something like that. That is a direct system. That means if a pebble hits a Kirby fan and breaks it, you'll get you'll hear the noise. The same thing with the Simplicity, Riccar type vacuums, Auric vacuums. They're direct suction, so the fan is right next to where the dirt is, and the dirt hits the fan. Eventually, that fan can break. You start getting noise. But a shampooer is different. So that's probably about as much as I can do to answer that question there. Here's one last thing. Sorry, guys, for if I'm being long-winded, but I really want to make sure you get it and don't panic and start throwing things away. Okay. How about this Hoover here? Okay, I'll give you an example of this Hoover, and even this other Bissell. Just an example of how it works. All right, and I'll get to the Hoover. Now, okay, you see this section right here? This is where this part connects to the motor, to the Bissell suction, the suction area. Okay, this connects. Then it travels, the suction goes through this section here, but it has to pass through the filter. Okay? And then it goes into the body and it creates the vacuum. And then the vacuum is now escaping through here, but then that goes down through the nozzle this way, right? So the vacuum is finding this way, sucking down to the nozzle. But the filter is gonna prevent stuff like this from getting to the motor. This tiny little filter right here, okay? And if the filter gets clogged up, then your suction is affected. So I'm trying to get the filter off. Let me show you what kind of stuff is blocking. Here we go. See? Stuff like this. It's stopping things like this. But look how small those holes are. Okay? Is that tiny? Right? Okay? So it's stopping things like that. But again, if this clogs up, then your suction is affected. But the suction is right. This little cavity right here. In here, and here. Right? That's it. This little area right here is where all that suction is happening. Let me see if I can get you. This L shape right here. Okay? So it's very hard for things like pebbles and stuff like that to get into your shampoo motor as a result. Okay? Now this Hoover is a little different. This Hoover here, the motor's here, and that opening, you see that little hole? Let me hold this a little better. This is where the suction, right in here, is where the suction happens. Now, if you accidentally drop a toy in there, then yes, it's gonna get to your motor, possibly. But that sucking up debris, it's not gonna get there. Let me tell you why. Okay? So it goes into this section. When you turn on this tank, this Hoover, if you notice the water splashes into this section here. You know, like that, right? Okay? No, the suction is coming from here, my bad. And the water is here, okay? This is where the water enters into the tank. This section goes through here and drops into the tank through here, right? Suction is being generated in this section, okay? This is the floater, okay? When the water rises to a certain level, the floater cuts off the suction. Right there. The floater cuts off the suction right there. Here's a little, see all this debris and this dirty filter? That's stopping things like carpet fibers from getting into the motor area. Okay? So the pebbles will have to make its way through this, make its way through this, and then it'll find its way down into here. It's probably not going to happen because, again, they're heavy. All right? So that's about it. Yeah, if you have any other questions, please feel free, leave a comment. And also in your comment, yeah, you can request a video version of the answer, or I can just respond by just giving you a quick tip. Again, I'm gonna try to release at least one video a week throughout the year, throughout 2022, with the way the schedule is kind of jammed. And if that can help if anyone, please, you know. And for those who want to support the channel, I mean, go right to our page. We have a support page. You can donate, you know, $1 all the way up to, you know, $1 trillion, right? Hey, don't let me limit you, okay, guys? That's what we can do. So, but until then, until the next video, I'll talk to you guys. And like I said, feel free to leave your comments below. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.